Looks like we are live. So let's just go live here as well for a little backup. All right. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? All right. I want to send this invitation out. So let me grab. Oh, just got the message so I can share it now. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see here. No, no, no. I want to share. Where is the link? All right. Wait, do I do it from here? That's an email link. Let's see. No, I need. There we go. Let me see. I think I can launch it here. Boom. There you go. Just grab the link. See, technology will never beat me. Always gonna win. Boom. Boom. All right, there we go. Got the link here. Let me send it out. As I text this out to some folks, gonna get this conversation rolling. Invite some people over here as well in a minute, one thing at a time. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Get this out to some peoples. I need to create a list of people that I send this out to. Mm-mm-mm. That little delay is funny. Anyway, what up? What up? What up? What up? Just just hang with me for a minute or two. I get this out to some folks. Let's see. Send this out to my young boy. You can always clip this first 5 minutes. That's too easy. Mm-mm-mm. I don't even know who that is. Close that. I don't need it. Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, here we are. All right, sent that out to some folks. Let me invite a couple folks over here to pull up. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Boom, boom. Top of the morning, beautiful peoples. Truly, truly appreciate y'all. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Let's open up the chat right here so I can see what's happening. What up, what up, what up? We got the live stream going in a few different places. Let's see. So what up, what up, what up, what up, beautiful peoples? Again, thanks for pulling up. Today I want to talk about and, and, and. That's what I want to talk about. And we're in the season of and. We are in the season of and. Where is the chat? Ah, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right. All right. All right, we getting it here. We getting it here. So, anywho, what's popping, beautiful people? Thanks for pulling up on this lovely Monday morning. Hey, Teresa, what's up, family? My my attention will be over here on the Coach Reese Experience page over here. So, I appreciate you tapping in. For sure, for sure. We're going to talk about and the season of the season of and. I'm going to unpack this in a second. Appreciate y'all so much. But we're going to unpack this idea of and I'll explain what I'm talking about in just a second here. And a lot of us are stuck. Where we at? 640. A lot of people are stuck trying to decide, should I take X path or Y path? Right? Should I do A or B? Should I invest my energy here or should I invest my energy there? Should I pursue this or should I pursue that? And I believe that this is an outdated idea. This is an outdated exploration. Once upon a time, I get it. You know, we really had to wrestle with this decision. I know as a man, one of the big things that we often wrestle with is presence or provision, right? Of course, we have to provide, right? And so oftentimes we're wrestling, we're struggling because we want to be present, but if we're present, then we're not able to provide at the level in which we need to provide or at all for some people. And so there's this struggle there. There's this pull. You want to be there, however, I can't be there. I want to provide at a higher level, but it requires me not to be present, right? But in 2026, we can solve for that. And a lot of us, you want to do this, but you also want to do that. You want to go this way, but you also want to go that way. And I believe the idea now, or the thing we need to explore now, is and, not or. Not which one should I go, which path should I take. However, which one or what order should I climb all of these mountains, right? In what order should I attack all the things, right? How can I become the type of person who can handle all the things? Hey, what's up, family? How can I become the type of person who? And that's more of the the way of thinking that I want us to explore rather than just or, right? Maybe I'll do this or maybe I'll do that. And a lot of people are sitting on the fence. Good afternoon, family. A lot of people are sitting on the fence trying to figure out or trying to figure out which path they take. And I'm saying you actually can have it all. They used to say you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, it's 2026. We actually can. We actually can, right? Don't throw no stones at me. Keep your minds pure. However, right, if you want to have an amazing career and uh, build a business on the side, doing something that you absolutely positively love, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So it's like, it's not corporate or entrepreneurship. It's 2026. You can do both. If you're passionate about something, if you have some ideas, if you have something on your heart, if you have some gifts and talents that you want to share with the world, you don't have to abandon the career you've been in for the last 2 decades. You don't have to throw that away. You have a lot invested. A lot of the things that you can share when you do start to share your passions with the world, a lot of the skills and abilities you developed came from working that job. So a lot of people are wrestling, should I quit the job? How am I going to, how am I going to, how am I going to? And I believe we're looking at this totally, totally wrong. I believe the question is, or excuse me, the season that we need to step into is and. This is my and season. I'm not wrestling between this one or this one. I'm going to do it all and I'm going to have it all. Because I truly believe in the fact that nothing can stop me but me. And if I'm unstoppable, the moment I decide to be unstoppable, then I don't have to decide this or that, right? If I go out and man, I kind of have a taste for the salmon and a taste for the chicken, I'm ordering both. Like, what are we talking about? Right? We gotta grow past that. Now I'm wrestling with the decision. Ugh. No, out. Give me both. What are we talking about here? Give me this meal. This chicken meal right here. This is awesome. Boom, boom, and throw a piece of that salmon on the plate too. I want to try that as well. Like, what are we talking about? Right? And so a lot of us, again, we're wrestling, or we feel like we're being pulled in these directions. And the biggest problem with that is we're frozen. Some of us are frozen in time because we're wrestling with that decision, this or that. And it's not even a question. Again, it's not even a question in 2026. The answer is and, both of them. BOFUM. Somebody put both of them in the chat. BOFUM is both of them. Do both, right? You actually love your career. You love the people you're connected with. You love the relationships that you're building. You love the skills and abilities. You love the fact that it helps you to provide for you and your folks. Amazing. But you also cook an amazing pie, or you also have some views on the state of politics. You have some ideas. You also want to encourage. You also want to explore the Constitution like my sister. You want to do some reading. You also do all the things. There's literally nothing stopping you. And if you feel like there's something stopping you, the challenge there is to level up you. So while you're sitting there wrestling with those decisions, you could have been skilling up. So let's look at it like this, right? We have some outdated belief systems that we need to shake. Quiet is kept. The only limitations that exist for us are self-imposed. They're the ones that we impose upon ourselves. Appreciate you. That's it. Those are the limitations. I'm not limited by what you say, what Sally or Susie says. I'm not limited by what society says. If that was the case, Lord knows I wouldn't be sitting here. Right? The way the deck was stacked against me, but that's neither here nor there, because I'm not a complainer. I'm a monster. I get after it. And so I don't have to, right? I can have an amazing life. And I want you to just get that in your mind. Stop wrestling with whether or not I can do this, right? Exactly. My sister said, we're not limited by the beliefs of others either. We're only limited by our own beliefs. Let that simmer. You're only limited by your own beliefs. See, sadly, we give the beliefs of others power over us, which is something we got to do better with that. Listen, the vision you have for my life, that's none of my business. The limitations that you see that will stop me from reaching my next level, that will stop me from accomplishing this and that, that's none of my business. I'm not responsible for that. Right? I absolutely, listen. Look, this friend of mine, look, she just texted me. She's listening. Funny, I've been thinking about getting a real estate license and wrestling with the idea. See, she has a great career already. She does some amazing things, and then she's been thinking about that. And why not? Go get that real estate license. Even if you don't sell a house, even if it's just because it's something that's in your spirit, because that might be the thing that leads to the thing. It may not even be about the real estate license. It may be about you granting yourself permission to level up, to skill up, to become a higher expression of yourself. And on that path, that may awaken something in you. So we don't need to wrestle with these choices anymore. What we need to wrestle with is how I'm going to become better. So the first point I just want to drive home is that the limitations are self-imposed. The limitations are self-imposed. The rules, like what are these rules that we're allowing to govern us? Think about it. What are these rules? Where you get these rules from? You just pull them out of the sky. You right? Somebody told you to do it this way, and this was the only prescribed way to do it, and no, you can't do that because if you're doing this, you can't do that. Well, if you're doing this, there's no way you can do that. Well, how are you going to do this? And how are you going to do that? And these are the same people who didn't believe you could accomplish the one thing. They surely don't believe you can add something else to it. You're going to add another layer? You're going to take that promotion and start a podcast? You're going to do this and that? You're going to be a great mom and spend time with your friends? Yes. You're going to be this and you're going to be, yeah, absolutely, all the things. I'm gonna be a great man. I'm gonna be a great husband. I'm gonna be a great father. I'm gonna be a great pop. I'm gonna be a great communicator, a great coach. I'm gonna be all the things. I'm gonna be a great friend. I'm gonna be a great brother. I'm gonna be a great all the things. Why would I limit myself? And this is the thinking that has us in these little boxes stuck. And we picked up things along the way, but what I want to remind us of is the only person's permission you need to break free from that is your own permission. All of the limits are self-imposed. All of the rules you're following are self-imposed. They aren't rules. They aren't real rules. They're not hard and fast rules. There's nothing stopping you. There's nothing stopping you from investing in yourself, from taking the leap, from moving forward, from applying some pressure on yourself, from developing into a higher expression of you. How dare you? How dare you limit yourself like that? My sis said, I learned how to start a business and 5 loved ones use the info I compiled to start their own. Look at that. They make way more money than my business makes, but they did it with my info. So you know what that says? That says you're the one. That says you have the gift. And you know what? You're welcome, family. You're welcome, folks. Right? Great. I have 1,000 stories like that. You know how many people I've helped free themselves from a thing that had me in the chokehold? That's the way it works. God uses us in that way sometimes. Right? He'll speak through me a message to someone and someone will take it and boom. And I may be stuck with great. Because honestly, that's not so awesome. Good for them. But that's just a sign that, you know what? Look at me. So I'm also a business consultant. Add that to your resume. You compiled this information and you basically were their consultant. So you're a business coach and consultant. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look at that. I'm glad. That's why we're here. This is and season. This is not no, this isn't one second. This isn't about or. This is someone I sent the message to. This isn't about or. This is about and. We're so much more than we even understand. We're capable of so much more. I said it right the first time. We're so much more than we realize. And so again, that first point that I want to drive home, all the limitations are self-imposed. The rules are fake. The rules are fake. Think about it. What rules? Think about it. There are some rules that you're following right now that you've created some belief systems around about what's possible for you, and those rules do not apply. You're the only one following those rules. Right? You're the only one following those rules. Like, it's so cool when you really just stop and think about it. And it's like, wait a minute. I'm over here, like my sister said, I'm wrestling with, I want to do this, but I'm constantly talking myself out of doing it. There's actually nothing stopping me but me. She didn't say the law said, the rules said that. No. It's just me. It's just me talking myself out of it. It's just me overthinking. It's just me focusing on the negative pieces, focusing on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. It's just me not being team me. It's just me being against myself. It's me not being a good friend to myself. There's nothing stopping us. So again, the limitations are self-imposed, the rules are fake. Create some new beliefs. Believe in your and. This is your and season, right? And the beautiful thing about it is getting warm. Turn the fan. Here's the beautiful thing about it. That was fun. Let me do that again. The beautiful thing about it is if you want more, you simply must become more. As corny as that sounds, it's the truth. If you want more, you can absolutely positively have more. However, you must become more. And this is where we lose people. Ugh. You mean nobody's just going to give it to me? No. You absolutely can have it. But it's going to require you to invest time, energy, effort, money to become more so that you in turn can have more. So more is available. You don't have to keep thinking more isn't just designated for people that look a certain way or people that speak a certain way or people that have a certain background or people that blah, 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 blah. Right? Let's see. Da, 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 da. There's someone asking about the YouTube stream. You can comment on the YouTube stream. Oh, I guess I could have just said it to you. I'm on TikTok as well. Anyway, exactly, family. And so you can have more. More is available if you're willing to become more. And I teach people this all the time because it really changed my life, right? Willing comes before able. So notice what I said. You can have more if you are willing to become more. If you're willing to do the work necessary to become more, to become a higher expression of yourself. Yeah, we popping, fam. The Coach Reese Experience. We live here on TikTok and we're live over on, I'm using Riverside. We're live on YouTube and I think my Facebook page as well. Yeah, we're popping using this technology. See, and that's and season in action. Why not? We're not limited to just talking right here. We can do it there. The technology is like a whole production team. We popping out here in these streets. But think about that. So because of my willingness to become more, right? I made an investment into the technology that enables me to see more was available. I wasn't just limited to this. And people say, well, if you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. But what do you sell? Well, no, you can't. If you're live here, you can't mention this. Why not? What they gonna do? Like, I'm not buying into that. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that. And let's say that does happen. Let's say they're gonna suppress you. It's barely reaching anybody anyway. I didn't. So what are we talking about? Again, and look. So let me explain something to you. If you're new to me, I get like 38 thoughts at one time, and so sometimes I'll just go bonkers for a second. But here's something interesting. We hold near and dear these beliefs whenever they keep us small. See, a belief that stops you from pressing forward, a belief that's a limitation, a limited belief, a belief that says this is as far as you can go, this is as much as you can do, this is all you're allowed, this is how this works. And so anything that puts you in a box, anything that keeps you small, we hold near and dear those beliefs. But when someone comes along and says you can have it all, this is your and season, you're real skeptical. Interesting, huh? You're skeptical because I'm saying you can do both, you can have it all. You don't have to decide A or B, you can do A and B. The only criteria is that you invest in yourself and you become more so that you can do more and have more and create more for yourself. You're skeptical. But if I said, no, 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 you have to do this and you have to do this and you have to do this way, you have to stay this small, you have to have this in order, you have to this in order. It's almost like a relief. It's like, oh, yes, because I wanted to take the leap, but oh man. And so that's why when people like myself come along and we're encouraging you and we're challenging you to do more, to invest in yourself, right? To change your relationship with yourself, to find the willingness to invest in yourself, to develop the skills and abilities to become a higher expression of yourself so that you can live the amazing life that you long to live. You're skeptical. You're wondering, you're questioning, you want to know about my background and what had happened here and how long have you been doing this and are you a snake oil person or it comes with all this BS. But you don't challenge the things, those beliefs that are keeping you small like that. And for the record, anyway, I don't have to do that. I don't have to even speak on those types of things. That was a slip, God, my fault. Anyway, so you can have more. More is available to you if you have the courage, if you would be willing to become more. That's it. You want more? Yes, awesome. More is available? Yes. You mean like I have more? Absolutely. What do I need to do? Awesome. See, that should be the next thing. Okay, great. More is available. What do I need to do? You need to become more. You need to become more. What does that mean? You need to invest in yourself. You need to become a higher expression of you. You need to figure out, right, who you want to be, what you want to build, what you want to create. And you need to start developing the skills and abilities, the mindsets. You need to become it so that you can become it. Good afternoon. Thanks for tapping in. You need to become it so that you can become it. Right? So I want more. I'm sick. I'm tired of living in this particular box. I want to break free from this box. I want to create more for myself. I want to leave a stronger legacy. In fact, forget leave a legacy. I want to live an amazing life. That in itself will create and leave a legacy. If I live an amazing life, is that not a legacy? My son's gonna be like, wow, my dad, man, he got to it every day. So if I want to live an amazing life is available to me if I'm willing to become more. So what do you mean become more? I gotta change my thinking. Because if I keep on believing so deeply, if I'm so committed to the beliefs that keep me small, I got to break up with them. I got to divorce from those beliefs. And I have to develop a new belief system, one that encourages and inspires and lifts me up, one that challenges me to become more, one that reminds me of how amazing I am and what I'm capable of. One that keeps me looking at my mentor. My mentor used to say, imagine the possibilities. Imagine the possibilities. Think about the power in that statement. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine what's possible for you if you were to really commit to you. Oh, commit to you. You know what I sell? Because everybody's selling something. You know what I sell? I sell you on you. I've committed my entire adult life. I'll be 50 soon. I've committed the last 30 years to challenging and encouraging and empowering people to become better. Not to pour into me, not to help me to reach a particular height. No. But to look within and sift through the rubble of life and find that awesomeness that's been buried on the inside and to believe again and to dream again and to lean into those hopes and desires and to get the vision back and do everything in your power to develop yourself. That's what I sell. I sell you. And it confuses people. People are like, whoa, because here's a statistic I'm going to give you. And I don't care if you believe me. I know it's true. I've been doing this since 1998. 99, if I put 100 people in the room, 99 of them want a little bit of relief from their pain. They don't actually want to grow and change. They don't actually want transformation. One will say, what do I need to do? Walk on my hands? Cool. Dance, cool. Moonwalk, cool. Cool. And so that's just the truth. And that's neither here nor there because I'm talking to that one. I'm talking to that person that's sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm talking to that person that recognizes their potential and they're frustrated. If you feel stuck, it's because you recognize that you ought to be over there. And not in an envious way, in a wow, you know what? There's something about that connects with my spirit. Where I live is I'm looking out the window. It's a street right here, and there's actually a couple of streets that I can see. And I live in a really, really, really nice area, so I see awesome, awesome vehicles ride by all the time. Those of you that rock with me, sometimes I'll be sitting here talking, and I'll be like, "Whoa, wow, Lamborghini just went by!" Right? It's one of the most encouraging, awesome things in the world. That connects with my spirit. You get what I'm saying? That connects with my spirit. So those things that connect with your y'all missed that one. You got to break free from the limitations, from the rules, from the beliefs that are keeping you small because that's what it is. It's not the people, places and things that you blame. It's your belief system. Say that again. The reason you're not further along, the reason that lisp, I'm telling you, that thing is vicious. The reason you're not further along is because of your belief system. It's not because of your skin color. It's not because of what the politicians had did. It's not because of what your pastor did. It's not because of your ex. It's not because of the children. It's not because of anything other than your own belief system. When I make the necessary adjustments, when I believe, and belief shows up in actions. So don't tell me you believe something if there's nothing about you that resembles it. So when you start to think, speak, and act in a manner that aligns with these amazing beliefs about yourself, and you begin to embody those beliefs, everything changes because that's the only thing holding you back. There's nothing stopping you. Exactly. My sis said, she said, faith without works is dead. Exactly. And so when we really think about that, it's a challenge. And this is my mountain that I choose to climb every day. And it's a treacherous, dangerous mountain. And it can be a lonely mountain. And all that I do on that mountain is encourage people to believe in themselves and challenge them to become better within themselves and to do better and do more for themselves. And I give you 1,001 ways in which to approach that, in which to do that. I challenge you to challenge your belief system about you, not about me, about you. I want you to believe in you. I want you to change your relationship with you. I want you to look in the mirror and see an awesome individual. I want you to be upset with yourself because you know greater is available. I want you to look down your nose at some of the choices you made in the past. I want you to look around and say, you know, I'm better than this. Yeah. Hey, what's up, family? I want you to challenge. I'm better than this. And I don't want you to just say that or just feel that and then do nothing about it. I want you to say, you know what? I'm better than this. And here's the plan. And here's step one. I'm better than this. You know what? All right. I'm better than this. Watch my moves. This coming summer, watch this. Next year, this time, watch my moves. That's the challenge for you to believe in you. So the limitations are self-imposed. The rules are fake. and more is available to you if you decide you want more. And the decision to want more, don't just say, I want more because it sounds good or because it feels good in the moment. Deciding you want more is deciding to take step one, deciding to show up on your own behalf. She said, I'm better than riding shotgun in my life. Exactly. We got to get in the driver's seat. We got to take responsibility. What happens next is up to you. So it doesn't matter how we got here. What matters is what's going to happen next. And the thing is, you get to choose the limitations. Self-imposed. So you get to just destroy all the limitations. Every rule you put in place to keep you small, to keep you comfortable, to keep you from taking that next right step, from taking a leap. Every rule you've put in place, you can destroy right now. Not later, right now. You don't got to go to the mountains for 6 months and study and meditate for 47 hours and not speak for a week. You can decide right now, you know what, I'm better than this. And I'm going to start challenging the goofy thoughts that show up, and I'm going to replace them with empowering thoughts. I'm going to start speaking life over myself. I'm going to start encouraging myself, and I'm going to start taking actions that align with the person that I know I want to become, that I know I'm capable of becoming. I'm going to ask, what would the best of me do in this situation? And I'm going to act accordingly. I'm going to become my own muse. I'm going to flash forward 6 months from now. Yeah, I want to be like him. And it's me, 6 months evolved. That's it. So, and that's absolutely possible. You don't need anyone's permission to do that except for your own. I can't give you permission to do that. I don't even want that much power. This is your power. You got to take your power back. You got to take responsibility for your life. You got to decide, you know what? I'm better than this. I'm better than thinking this way. I'm better than speaking this way. I'm better than making these poor choices. I'm better than looking this way. I'm better than dressing this way. I'm better than driving this. I'm better than wearing this. I'm better than working here. I'm better than having these dreams and goals and all these amazing ideas and never doing anything with them. I'm better than that. I no longer want to disrespect myself. I no longer want to disrespect God. I no longer want to disrespect the people that are counting on me, that believe in me, that see my potential. I'm no longer willing to do that. That's a choice that each individual has the power to make. And my mission in life is to get you to realize how freaking awesome you are and to start moving accordingly. Start holding yourself in high esteem, honoring yourself, loving yourself, treating yourself with the respect that you deserve. Start treating yourself like someone you're responsible to care for. Start speaking life into yourself. Don't only be your worst critic, be your biggest cheerleader equally. So push yourself, challenge yourself, demand more, and then celebrate the steps that you take along the way. Do both and season, right? Oh, I didn't even plan that. And season. I'm my biggest critic. I'm in my own way. Great. I'm also my biggest cheerleader, and I'm working my face off to get out of my own way, because what I realize is that I'm unstoppable. When I decide to go, there's nothing that can stop me. When I decide to press forward, there's nothing that can stop me. There's nothing or no one that can stop me. Imagine that. Like my mentor used to say, imagine the possibilities. Imagine what you could build, what you can create, who you can become if you would find the courage to invest in yourself. Imagine that. If you would discard those goofy excuses that you keep allowing to stop your progress. If you would throw away those goofy rules that you're following that don't even exist, that are just fake, that you picked up along the way, and maybe they helped you survive for a season, but now you don't need those rules anymore. So why not press forward? Why not do this and that and this and this and this and this? What's stopping you? Right? What's stopping you? Don't just, hey, what's up, sis? Don't just write the book, write the series. Right? Don't just do that. Make a movie. Like, what are we talking about? Yes, write the book and create a movie and a stage play and like, what are we talking about? These limitations, we got to trash them. Thanks, family. We got to trash them. The rules are fake. The limitations are all self-imposed. There's no one walking around with a ruler popping you on the hand when you start to move into. So whatever is still haunting us, we got to shake that and realize that, oh, wait, I'm unstoppable. I'm unquittable. There's nothing that can stop me. Wait, all this time, I was, right? It's like an invisible fence. All this time, I'm like, I'm not going past that line because somebody told me there was a line there? Because I told myself there was a line there? Like, what? You don't just go? What are we talking about? She said, it's so funny. I'm in the process of learning animation so I can create a series based on my son. I love it. And look, the beautiful thing about that is you don't have to become a Pixar level. The technology is there to help you. Good, good, good. It's one God, one voice. So the technology is there to help you. So you have this idea. I guarantee you there's an app out there right now that'll take your story and your characters and do the animation for you. Might cost you a couple of dollars, but okay, great. What are we talking about? Even that. Look at that. That's just so yes. You want to get this story. You want to get a whole cartoon series animated around the stories around your baby. Go. There's nothing stopping you. I guarantee you. I guarantee a 5-minute search, you'll probably find multiple options. And then with the way the technology is now, if you want it to be a cartoon like caricatures, however you want it. If you want it to be live action, I mean, look at the videos that can be created. So that's a layup. You can have that popping in a minute. See, and this is and season. This is and season. We're piling on. And notice I didn't say, take this away and take this away and take this away, and then you can possibly do this. No, do it. Do all of it. Again, there's nothing stopping you. And it's 2026. The technology helps us. If you have an idea, you can start the idea and take it, and there's literally nothing stopping you. Literally nothing stopping you. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that one of the things that trips us up is our big brains will get to moving, and as creative as we are, right, we'll weaponize that creativity against ourselves. Yes, this is our and season. Appreciate you, sis. It's one God, one voice. And so we'll get to creating, and then there'll also be one little creative gremlin on the side, and he'll be creating a list of reasons why that won't work, or why you shouldn't, or why you. Tell him thank you for that, because you're helping me solve for what I need to solve for. You're helping me, right, to launch into my and season. Like, oh, you know what? Thank you. I forgot all about that. Let me solve for that too. Let me get in front of that, because again, remember what I said is you can have more. You just have to become more. So great, I'm becoming more. So the beautiful thing about becoming more is this: as I become more, the things that used to stop me, slow me down, get in my way, now they actually become the building blocks of my success. The obstacle is the way, right? The impediment to action leads to action. The obstacle is the way. William Murphy said, shout out, he said, what used to be on my back is now under my about to run around this house. What used to be on my back is now under my feet. And that's just a mindset shift. That's a decision. What used to keep me up at night, overthinking and dreading and hoping and wish, now that's actually rocket fuel. That's the very thing launching me forward. Why? Because I said so. Nothing magical had to happen. I showed up here with the power to make that shift. I just have to decide that that's the shift that I'm going to make. So when those little gremlins try to play you and tell you what's not possible, you got to respond with excitement. You got to respond with a thank you, because that's inspiration. That's motivation. See, we're too committed to, and like, we love an excuse, boy. I'd be like, y'all love excuses, and I can't wrap my brain around it. And I've been trying to politely and kindly say stuff, but I'm over that now, because it's causing me not to be genuine and authentic. So I'm saying, like, how goofy do you sound? Well, because this happened, and because this happened, I am limited. I am unable to do this because of this. What? What are you talking about? So, because my dad wasn't present, I can't be a great father? Bull crap. That's actually the reason why I don't play about this father thing. There's a choice. There's always a choice. Well, I would, but my mother didn't, and my cousin didn't, and my uncle, and I had this happen, and my fifth grade teacher said this mean thing to me, and I'm not great. Good. Show up, win big, and send that teacher that said you couldn't read, you needed to be held back. Send them a copy of your book and tell them thank you. Like, what are we talking? Like, what? We'll believe the limitation, but we won't believe the encouragement, the empowerment. We won't believe. And that just boggles my mind. Actually, doesn't boggle my mind anymore. I just think it's stupid. And we're better than that. Every day I gotta tell people, yo, you're better than that, fam. What? What are you talking about? We're better than that. One of my clients told me, I just want to talk on the phone for our calls because, you know, because he can, to your point, because my reactions and the faces I make, he feels disappointed. He's not quitting. He just said, I can't. He said, because I said, okay, good. Because I am disappointed, because you're better than that. How are you a doggone rocket scientist over here and a freaking idiot over here? I don't get it. That means that's a choice. Now, if you're just all the way a goofball, great. We can build from there. But how you beast mode over here and just zero commitment over here? That doesn't make sense to me. That's a choice. So we have to be willing to challenge our belief system. We have to be willing to challenge those beliefs that are keeping us small. And the part that is just like crazy to me is that when someone comes along and says, you got this, of course you can. You're better than that. I see your potential. I've heard you speak. I've seen you do this. I see how people respond to you. I see. You don't believe me. But if somebody says, oh, he's just like your father, he'll never be nothing. I'll never be nothing because, see, they said I'm like my dad. Why is that gospel? And the encouragement, the empowerment, the keys to your freedom, why do you fight so hard against that? Against. That's my new way of saying it, y'all. I'm fancy. Why do you fight so hard against that? It boggles my mind. I just said I'm not letting it boggle my mind anymore. I'm just going to speak truth. I'm just going to lean more and more heavily into the truth. And the truth is, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to believe so strongly in the things that keep me small and to question and to you need 99 references. You need 99 references from someone like me. But your fifth grade teacher or your professor or your ex, they said some negative crap and you've been holding on to that for a decade. But you need to know my references. You need to know how long I've been encouraging people. I had someone ask me something. Well, how long are you one of these, like, just, because everybody's a coach now? I said, well, okay, fair enough. I said, how old are you? I said, yeah, I've been doing this longer than you've been on earth, young man. Next question. Like, can we get to what are you talking about? And here's the thing. Somebody will say, well, because there's a lot of crooks out here and there's a lot of, okay, great. Let's just go with that. Yes, there are. But you You don't scrutinize negativity like that. You don't scrutinize those beliefs that keep you small. You don't scrutinize people that speak death over you. You don't scrutinize people that tell you you ain't shit. You don't scrutinize people that tell you you're not enough. You don't scrutinize those people. You don't scrutinize that information because it aligns with what you really think about yourself. But then here comes someone telling you, no, 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 baby, you're better than that. No, 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 you're beautiful. Oh, you just want something. What? I don't want you. What are you talking about? Because your ex kept telling you was ugly and nobody wants you. Now I told you you were beautiful. I told you you can accomplish anything. And then your ex told you so and so, and now you. Or your dad, who was a scumbag, he kept telling you you're just like your mother. You ain't this, you ain't this, and now you've been carrying that through all throughout your life. And now someone comes along to encourage you to speak life, and now you're skeptical about that. But you're not skeptical about the. And I'm not saying just be goofy and stupid. I'm saying you're sharp enough, you're smart enough to understand. And you can sift through information and grab what you need to grab to help you to learn and grow and become a higher expression of yourself. Why are you unwilling to do that? Therein lies the problem. It's not the people. It's not the people telling you you ain't shit. It's the fact that you believe you ain't shit. Like let's come on, let's get real. So what, they said that. And you can say what you want about me. That doesn't move the needle. What moves the needle is what I believe about me. And if I choose to believe the negative garbage that you say about me over what I believe about me and what God says about me, I'm the problem. You're not the problem. And we need more people to take responsibility for their lives in that manner. I shouldn't have been banging on the table. My dog ready to turn up. We gotta do better. It's all right, Rocky. That was me. That was me, buddy. You ready to turn up? It's okay. All right, go back and lay down. Security came through. So at some point, we have to zoom out, evaluate how we're moving, and take freaking responsibility for our lives. And stop believing the lies. Stop believing the garbage. Stop believing the BS. If you're going to believe something, believe in your potential. Believe in the power of transformation. Believe in the power of growth. I got into an exchange with someone. I want to answer some questions. So wherever you are, throw a question in there. I got into an exchange with someone because, he done read a psychology book or something, or an excerpt from one or something. And he wanted to tell me how, change isn't possible. Once you reach the age of 5, that's just it. That's who you are. Blah, 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 blah. And I hear you. And there's a couple ounces of truth there. However, what he didn't understand was levels of truth. What he didn't understand was that may be true. However, what's also true is I get to decide. Anything, family. You know me, I jump all over the place. She asked the question, she said, does the question have to be about your and season or anything? Anything, because it all ties together. I make it all tie together because it does. So I'm explaining. I'm like, nah, player. What happens next is up to me. I can totally transform. Are there some things that are set in stone? A couple. However, I can develop habits and rituals. I can put systems in place. I can put rules in place. I can develop new ways of thinking. I can renew my mind. I can transform how I view the world and how I walk through the world, how I speak to myself and how I speak to other people, how I think, the thoughts that I allow to take root, the ones that don't align with the person that I desire to become, I discard them. And I keep pressing forward. and I keep searching for knowledge, and and when I learn something, I grab it and I apply it to my life, and it helps me to grow and level up. I'm not the person I was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm ever growing and evolving. So I'm like, no, stop. No, don't do that. There's hope for everybody. There's hope for everybody. Again, back to what I started. The limitations, they're fake. It's fake. The limitations are self-imposed. And that's what I was driving home. Like, no, what do you mean? Yes, you can change. I went from a monster in those streets to chilling, loving my amazing wife, taking care of myself, taking care of my children, my granddaughters, and serving God's people. I was a monster at one point in time. I'm talking about a monster. I can't even say out loud some of the things that my hands were involved in. And now look, now my hands are. So don't tell me that. Don't try to sell me on that garbage. Or we got a question over here. If something happens that you knew was going to happen and someone told you wasn't going to occur, is it crazy to be bothered? Is it worth communicating that I'm bothered if I knew it was going to happen? So if you knew, that was a gift, right? You already saw it happening, right? Let's so my oldest son, he's 30 now, right? He's in high school, and Lil Wayne got these tattoos on his face, so he want to get a tattoo on his face. I'm saying that wouldn't be wise. Now, I've always been a consultant. I've always been a consultant parent. That wouldn't be wise. I said Lil Wayne is already set. He's Lil Wayne, right? He's already set. His life, his path is already squared away, right? Financially, he's good already, and he's good, right? He's good. So don't you can't compare yourself to him. And I'm like, because you don't know yet what you want to do with your life, right? Having a tattoo on your face is going to limit you, right? This is how I talk. He'll tell it. I'm gonna do a episode with my sons and really just talk through some stuff. And I'm like, you're gonna severely limit your options if you go get a tattoo on your face. I said, you know what? Go crazy from here down, because you can wear a long sleeve shirt and whatever. I said, yeah, go crazy. I said, but that wouldn't be wise. What does he do? Him and his homie, they leave school, go get tattoos on their faces. Now this fool, he doesn't want to come home. And I'm like, what? He doesn't want to come home. So then he finally calls his mother. I'm scared to come home because daddy going. I'm laughing. Let me see. I'm laughing. People are like, what kind of parent are you? What, should I cried? No. I gave him all of the information. He made that goofy choice. And guess what? He gets to do that. And he also gets to live with the outcomes that come with that. He gets to live with that. Right? Was I disappointed? Of course. But do I get it? Of course. You know how many times I did some goofy shit knowing that it was goofy? Too many to count. And so me telling him, his mother telling him being very intelligent with this understanding, he made the choice to go do it anyway. And then fast forward, he's in his feelings one time. We're in the mall because everyone's staring at him. Joker, you got a freaking tattoo on your face. Now this was a long. It's almost like it's like common now, especially like in inner cities and stuff. It's common now. I walk around Philly. The young boys they got the Phillies P in the middle of their forehead. It doesn't even move you at this point. It's something you see every day. Back then it wasn't so common, so it was kind of like. And he was in his feelings. I'm cracking up. Cause like what? No, you picked that. So that's what you chose. Like I chose water. I can't be surprised that this isn't Pepsi. Like I filled this up with water and yep, water. Like like what do we and I've been on that before I had the language, before I even knew what was happening. I've been on like because again, my my life was decisions. I decided my way out of the BS and the streets, and I decided my way into the ministry. I decided my way through the ministry. I decided my way to, right? So now, right? That was just a quick anecdote to go along with that. Now, to back to your question, right? Is it worth communicating that I'm bothered? So now, bothered if I'm bothered, I need to explore that. Well, why am I bothered? Why am I bothered? Someone made a choice. Let me read this again, make sure I'm not missing a piece. Is it crazy to be bothered? Well, it's not crazy to be bothered. Just like with my son, I was a little disappointed, but I didn't let it take from me. That's a rule that I learned. Nothing gets to take from me. So the question, right, especially if it's your child, okay, I did my part. I gave him all the information. He made an informed decision to go get a tattoo on his face. What else could I do? What could I like handcuff him to me and like what was I going to do? He was like 15, 16 years old. Like what was I going to do? And someone who's never parented a team might say, da, 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 but come on, stop. What was I going to do? I did my part. I gave him the information. I educated him, and I didn't just say no because I said so. I gave him different takes on it, different ways to. And he thought about it because he said, well, if I do have to like interview or stuff like that, I could put makeup on it. He thought that thing through. Cool. So you get to live with those outcomes and the challenges, the struggles, the the prejudice that came along with that. That's what he had to carry, but he picked that. So now bothered. Bothered is interesting to me because that's a choice. Bothered is a choice. Why am I choosing bothered? Am I bothered because I feel like there's more I could have done? And is that true? Is there more I could have done? What's my role in this? If this was someone else's task, that's not my task. My task in that situation, right, was to educate. Like my task is to present this information and to challenge you and to encourage you, right? And to remind you of how powerful you are. But you gotta do the stuff. You gotta execute. You gotta do the thing. And so bothered is something to explore. I think it's stupid to be bothered by something I knew was going to happen, so I didn't say anything. Yeah. And what you do is you just take the information and you learn from it, right? It's always good to, if something bothers me, well, why does it bother me, right? Am I minding other people's business? Do I feel guilty because I coulda, shoulda, woulda? Do I explore the bothered? However, the thing itself, and what's the value in saying that it bothers me? Right? If you're expressing your disappointment in the person or in the situation, or if you want to offer some insight, right, to help them to navigate that situation in a different and better manner in the future, great. But explore, like, what's the point? Like what's the point there? And so, no, I don't think it's stupid to be bothered. I think if you're bothered, I think it's worth, if there's that list again, I believe it's worth exploring. Explore the bother. You're going to learn something about yourself, right? Then it'll help you to elevate. And then you may learn something about the people, places, and things around you that you're connected to. And it'll give you more insight for future situations where you are well aware that this comes with this. Do I want to offer more information? Do I want to ask more questions? Right? I'm big on questions. Okay, so what are your thoughts, right? Okay, so once you do that, right, what's the next step? What are you thinking about, right? What are the pros? What are the cons, right? Did you do a Ben Franklin, right? Did you do a line down the middle of the paper? List out the pros and cons, right? What's the value here? Are you just hyped for a moment and you're going to just, right? What itch are you scratching? What's the goal here? What's the actual goal here? And get people to think a bit. But yeah, fam, like bothered is cool, but explore the bothered. And if you realize, like, oh no, if I'm bothered because there's some guilt there, then we need to explore that, right? And we need to explore what's this guilt about, and is there anything I can do about it? Keep the questions coming, please. Friends, strangers, it's a safe space. Come on, drop them questions. So let me share this. I went through a guilt season with my sons. In 2016, I went through a horrific breakup, divorce. It was only horrific for me. And I mean, it crushed me, or it tried to crush me. It tried to crush me, but I just kept pressing forward. And I had these three boys that, kept me in the game, kept me focused, and I had to continue to press forward. And as I was, figuring out life and getting myself together, at the time, my son, who is 28 now, he had just graduated from high school, and my son aced the math SAT. My son missed on the entire SAT. He missed two questions. Like I have evidence. I have proof. So my son was like, he was one of them. But he's brilliant. So we had, hey, what's up, family? We had stacks of letters coming to the house every day from universities. Like, we need him here because he tested off the charts, and his mathematics. He's a monster. He could look at a number and I don't care if it's a 17-digit number. He'll like boom, and he has it. His brain is just it's insane. And so of course, we have big plans for this kid. Well, my life crashed and burned literally the weekend of his high school graduation. And so that summer was hell for me. Summer 16. And it was the worst and best thing for me at the same exact time. And so while I'm navigating that, I'm trying to figure out who the heck I am, because who am I separate from this relationship? Who am I separate from this ministry? Who am I separate from? Who am I? What do I like? What's it? And so I'm getting to know myself, right? And so as I'm figuring that out, my son is at a crucial point in his life, right? And I made the mistake of, because in that past relationship, his mom is a beast when it comes to administrative things. I'm talking about not a game is played. Boom, 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 boom. She checks those boxes. She's a beast with it. So much so that I was so spoiled, I didn't have to do none of the administrative stuff. So when I stepped outside of that relationship, there was so much new stuff that I had to learn and explore. I was basically like a kid because there was so much I just didn't have to do for almost 20 years of my life. I just didn't have to do that stuff, right? I had my tasks, I had the things that I did, but anything administrative. So, of course, right? I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm trying to keep myself afloat and figure out and process through. Well, this is simultaneously, this is the summer my son is supposed to be going off to school. Now, because of what we went through with the breakup and the family and all these things going on, the way my son responded was he began to act out. And I wasn't in a place, I wasn't in a healthy space with her to communicate and talk through these things. And I just wasn't in a space to recognize, because of course, with me, he was fine. And so when it came around to like, okay, we need to be school and we need to be getting these things done. By the time it occurred to me that I'm like, oh shoot, it was like I blinked, I missed a season. And I went through hell, y'all, but this ain't about that. And so it was like I missed the season. So I'm like, whoa. So as I'm getting myself, so fast forward, as my son is navigating life, I had this heavy feeling of guilt. So anytime he would go through a struggle, anytime he needed something, anytime, I felt like I let him down because I wasn't right, because I was going through my go through at a time that was crucial for him. And the guilt I carried. And then one day, it just occurred to me what was happening. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm actually doing him a disservice by allowing this guilt to be so strong and heavy here. I need to shake this. He needs me at my best. He doesn't need weak, watered down, feeling guilty, so I'm bending the rules for him, me. He needs me sharp. strong. He needs the example. He needs to, right? And then I realized, like, yo, you know what? You did your best. You missed the ball. Yeah, but it wasn't intentional. This happened and that happened, and life be like that sometimes. But you've been present fully, and you're working through this. It's okay. And I gave myself permission to let go of the guilt. And it really freed me. But for a long time, I was struggling with that, and I didn't know. And then what made me recognize it was I kind of gave him a separate set of rules. And one thing I always believe in is fairness. So the rules, the rule. It's not like, well, we can bend the rules a little bit because. And I found myself like, oh wait, I found myself right being willing to bend the rules and adjust my expectations for him because I felt guilty about going through my go through during an important season of his life. And so back I'm just reminded of this when you say you're bothered, and it's like we have to explore those things. See, those feelings are great. Feelings are just an alarm system. Like if you open my front door, it'll say front door, right? It'll beep, beep, it tells me someone's in the driveway. It's just an alarm system. And now when it beeps, I don't grab the whistle and go run to the door like a maniac. Well, someone's allowed to be at the door. It's okay. Right? So if anger alarms me, whoa, 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 okay, why are you here? Right? If a disappointment shows up, if whatever shows up, I decided I'm going to have a healthy relationship with my emotions. So when they show up, right, I offer them something to drink. What's up? Why are you here? What's going on? What prompted you to show up, Mr. Frustration? Oh, okay. Wow, tell me more. Okay. All right. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. See, I used to give frustration permission to take control. Like frustration would knock on the door. I would go hide in the corner and let them run my house. Or I like to say, I would let them duct tape me up, throw me in the trunk, and it just takes the wheel. My sis said that earlier. I've been riding shotgun. I've been a passenger in my own life. And a lot of us are taped up in the trunk, and our goofy negative emotions are running our lives. We're being governed by those emotions. Right? And that was never okay with me, thankfully. But I've developed a healthy relationship with my emotions. And I'm willing to stand and face them, even when it hurts. Because I understand that momentary pain is like push-ups, right? The value that I receive from the push-up is worth the pain. The value I receive from turning and facing and dealing with the guilt, the anger, the this, the that, right? The reality of the moment I'm in is worth it. The value that I receive back. So the willingness to do that, I'm always willing to explore. I'm always willing to do that. And I challenge myself to be better. I challenge myself not to be governed by that. I always say intellect over emotions. And so when the emotion shows up, it's okay. Explore it. What's up? Why are you here? Okay, cool. Well, we ain't moving like that no more. We've evolved past that. He said this and he did this. Okay, I'm like, yo, chill. You don't need to be upset. You don't need to be angry for what? We're not 19 anymore where we got to turn up every time somebody sit down. It's okay. Let that fool be upset over there as long as he don't get in my personal space. He gets to think whatever he wants. That's his life. That's his mind. There are lines that he's not allowed to cross. And as long as he doesn't, why would I care about that? Why would I allow that to stop my progress? Back to beliefs, right? Anywho, see what I mean about it all ties together, sis? Everything ties together. Everything goes back to your relationship with you. Everything stems from that. And the more we're willing to work on that, the more we're willing to invest in that relationship, the more we're willing to show up for ourselves, the more we're willing to explore and continue to develop a healthy relationship with me and me. Keep the lines of communication open and make sure that I'm fully invested in that relationship, making sure that it's healthy and strong above all else. Everything else is child's play. It's easy breezy. And it helps me put things in perspective and recognize when I'm doing things like what I talked about earlier, being committed to and faithful to and believing wholeheartedly in the beliefs that limit my possibilities. Why do we do that? And I refuse to do that. And I know that my ministry is to challenge that. Because so what, you went through a hard time. Get your ass up and let's do something. What I got to do with today? All right. Yeah. She cheated on you. All right. Focus up. What we gonna do about it? He cheated on you. All right, cool. Great. That's the reality of the situation. Okay, cool. Well, my trauma. Okay, great. What does that have to do with now? Like, what does that have to do with you showing up for yourself today? When somebody give me the trauma excuse, I say, no, you're just lazy. And I'm not for everybody. But if you try to tell me about what had happened was, and this is the reason why, I call bullshit. I said, no, you're lazy. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to, because there's a way forward. You're not the only person that went through anything. One of my bros asked me, we hung out. He's actually family. And, you know, we had some conversations and we talked about life and unpacked some things. I mean, I'm talking about over the course of time. Woo! Over the course of time. And he said, man, how are you not angry and bitter? How do you? And I'm like, well, that never even occurred to me. That was never an option. What do you mean? He's like, man, if all the things you've been through and all of this and that, and how are you not, man? Because he was struggling with just being angry at the world. And he had, you know, he had what he considered legitimate reasons. And then when he heard my story, it didn't match. He's like, man, wait. You could be, basically he was saying, yo, you could be angry and no one would, you know, it would make perfect sense. And I'm like, well, for what? Like, for what? Where's the value in that? Where's the power in that? Why would I give my power away in that manner? No, I choose me every day. And I choose to live an amazing life. I choose to think, speak, and act in a manner that aligns with the man that I desire to become. I choose to be a light. I choose to walk in obedience to what God tells me to do. I choose to show up in a positive and healthy manner. I choose to be the thermostat. I set the temperature of the room, no one else. When I walk in, peace walked in. When I walked in, healing walked in. When I walked in, growth and transformation walked in. No one gets to set the tone or temperature of the room. Not when I'm around. And not because I come in pushing and shoving, but it's just who I am. And so we have to have but that takes courage. It takes courage to show up for yourself. I understand. But anytime someone presents an excuse, I call BS on that. Because my mom, her drug addiction through my childhood and all the ups and downs and twists and turns that came with, that does not stop me from being a good dad today. That does not stop me from showing up and going live today and speaking life into people. My mom, she done went on home, right? She's not here anymore. Her absence doesn't, right? And the things that we missed. My father, he's gone. The things that he did and didn't do. His lack of presence. And then even when he was present, right? The lack of connection and relationship that we had. It's not an excuse. The abandonment that I experienced from people that I held near and dear, that I loved and fully committed my life to. That doesn't stop me from being present. That doesn't stop me from, it actually drives me. And that's why my sister's over here, that's why I don't play that excuse stuff, because I call BS on that. Because those are choices that we make. Those are 100% choices. There's no rule that says you went through this and therefore you must do this. Where? How? Where's that? What are you talking about? Back to the rules and limitations that we put on ourselves. Well, you know, I didn't have this, so therefore that. What are you talking about? I used to struggle with that. Throw a question in there or I'm going to bring it home. But look, I used to struggle with that, right? I used to struggle a lot with that. I used to say, who am I to do this? Who am I to do this kind of work? Who am I to help people? Who am I? because I'm looking at all of the goofy choices that I've made, all of the negative things that I've done. I've looked at all the times I got it wrong. And I decided that I'm disqualified from certain opportunities because. And then God hit me upside my head and said, no, goofball, you survived all of these things. You're still standing tall and looking good in spite of all these things. I have need of you. Don't you dare disrespect yourself or me or the mission that I've carved out for you by viewing yourself in that manner. And it caused me to say, oh, you know what? Oh, I'm actually qualified to do this because. So all of those things that I thought disqualified me, they're actually now bullets on my resume. Same thing, same situation, getting it wrong. Getting it wrong is why I'm qualified to get it right and help you to get it right, because I got it wrong so many times. See, the world done told us we got to find a perfect person or the perfect mentor or the perfect of the perfect, and it doesn't exist. And so everybody's stuck. No, you got to find someone who's willing to show up and be honest and be transparent and share the ups and downs and twists and turns and the mistakes they made and how they got it wrong and what they did to ensure that they got it right. And how did they not quit when, when they were going through all the hell they were going through? How did you, but no, you looking around for it. You white glove in my life, hoping you find something. Oh, Jesus. You're white gloving my life in hopes that you find a flaw or a chink in my armor, in hopes you dig up some skeletons so that you can somehow disqualify the truth that I'm speaking to you. How weak of you. I don't know if that's for somebody present right now or somebody that might see this in 5 years. How weak is that of you? God sends a message to you that speaks directly to your heart. And your response is, let me find an imperfection in the deliverer of said message so I don't have to take responsibility for the That's what we're doing. Really? Nah, tell me that's not where we at. Remember Jay-Z back in the day? I know something seriously wrong with the world. I know y'all ain't hating. I know this ain't what we doing. But if I think about it, that's exactly what we're doing. Someone shows up and they're encouraging and they're speaking, and we're gonna find something. The one young man, I don't know his name, but he's on I see him on TikTok. I don't see him anymore. I used to. Anyway. And he's giving all this information, and you can clearly see he's reading. But he's reading. Y'all don't even read. He's reading, and then it came out, right, that he was using he was using the LLM, he was using chat or one of those to get the information. But he was plugging in the information, he was reading the information, and then he was sharing the information, whether it was a teleprompter or from his notes. They act like that was just like, now he's a terrible human. It was like people were relieved. And I'm like, wait, what? Not thank you for the work you're putting in. Thank you for sharing these ideas with us. I never knew that. I knew this was a thing, but I didn't realize it came from this. And thank you for this. And not gratitude, relief. You know who I'm talking about. I don't know his name, but that's neither here nor there. This has happened so many times. It's like, we can't just be grateful because now, you popping and da-da-da-da. Because look, they value the information until he started popping and moving, and then people started to become envious of the growth that was showing up, on his socials and stuff. And now it was like, we're gonna rip him apart which is, how goofy is that? Like, even if you say, okay, wow, Okay, even if okay, he's reading that directly from ChatGPT. Okay, like great, thank you for sharing this information with us. And then he even was like, "Yo, I never said I." And what's wrong with gathering information and sharing it? That's what we all do, right? That's what we all do. That's what I do. I just don't read directly from the thing like he was doing, right? But mine's is in here, but I read and I write and I study and then I just share what's on my mind. But but when I do trainings, it's slides and it's information that was gathered and put together and I go through the slides and I teach the information. So that's like bad? That's like no, but it's goofy, right? It's because what happens is if I knock you off right now, I don't have to because you and it goes back to that relationship thing, right? When you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, these goofy things just, right? They become a part of us. They become an extension of us. And we do things like this, like what we're talking about. And I hope that young man is still doing his thing because he was putting out some good information. I learned quite a few things from a couple of his posts. I'm like, wow, I never knew that story, right? I didn't know that. It's not the things that I study, right? I study other things. So great, thank you. I was grateful. But it's just crazy, like the way people think, right? I saw somebody like bashing Deontay Kyle because his biological mom is Caucasian or something, and now how he what? This man has become a voice, a revolutionary, strong voice, sharing information, saying the quiet parts out loud. And y'all mad because what? Because he messed around and got too many followers. Y'all, people are weird. I love y'all though. I'm gonna keep showing up and keep doing my part, but some of the goofy shit is goofy shit. Anyway, I love y'all. I need to dash. This was fun. Appreciate y'all time and energy, likes and shares and comments and questions and all the things. He held up exactly, family. Exactly. But anyway, we're gonna keep pressing forward. We're gonna shake those limiting beliefs. And we're gonna keep investing in ourselves. We're gonna keep putting in the time, energy, effort, and money that we need to invest to become a higher expression of ourselves. And we're no longer limiting ourselves, right? We're doing this and this. We're doing this and this. We're growing here and here and here. I have this training I used to do called quadruple double. We winning in every area, right? A quadruple double in basketball is basically you have double figures, right? More than 10 in points, rebounds, assists, either blocks or steals or whatever. And it's a feat that it like only happened like 3 times in the history of the NBA, right? To let you know how big of a deal it is. But it's like we can do that. We can win at life. We can be mentally and emotionally strong. We can be physically fit. We can have amazing, healthy relationships, and we can have an amazing career and pursue our purpose. We can have all the things. We don't have. No, we can have all the things. We don't have to settle in any area. And whoever told us that, they lied. You can be an amazing provider and work your face off, and have an amazing relationship with your spouse and children. You can do both. You're bad like that. You can be an amazing provider and be fit and healthy and in the gym. I don't want to hear you working all the time as an excuse for being 40 pounds overweight. Okay. You have time, change your diet and get your fat behind in the gym. That was a shot to a friend of mine. I hope he catches this because I grind him up every day. Because he getting a couple dollars that he could just be fat and sloppy. Come on, dog. We hoopers. Like, come on, what you talking about? Anyway, that's my rant for today. This was fun. I appreciate y'all. Work is not going to be an excuse for not doing exactly. Not at all. In fact, work it's going to enable you to do all these other things, right? you work hard. You shared some things the other day about, increasing, multiplying your income. Now you're going to go ahead and get that new gig that's going to get you all that great extra couple dollars, right? And then you're going to pay somebody to come clean up and do these things, take that off your plate so you can be over here creating that cartoon series and writing this book and doing this and breaking this down and then translating the Constitution for those of us that don't ain't never thought about reading the Constitution and all the things. So yeah, so go get that money. Go do what you're gonna do because that's gonna create space. That's gonna free up time and energy for you to do all these awesome other things that you love. So make that list of those other things, and we're gonna do this and this and this and this and this because why not? He gonna bless you with a whole nother salary, like a whole nother one. He gonna double you up, and that's gonna free up time and energy for you to do all the things. And it's gonna come with less. It's gonna come with less responsibility because it's gonna come with you're gonna need to be sharper here, and you're gonna need to make bigger decisions. But it's not gonna come with more busy work. It's gonna come with more. So your energy is gonna be, and that's what's on the way, fam. No, no, it's actually the way forward. See, look. The obstacle is the way, right? The impediment to action leads to action. So these opportunities that you're now opening yourself up to and exploring, they're going to put you in position to do these other. So now, right? You ain't spending 4 hours a week cooking. You going out. You doing this. You doing that. Right? You're not spending 5 hours a week doing laundry. You're dropping it off and picking it up. Let them people do that. That's their hustle. Let them wash it and fold it and get it proper and come on. You taking your work stuff, you taking it to the cleaners, that's going right in the car. And the laundry, they doing that. You got the Mary Maids, shout out to them. You got them pulling up once a month and on call. They coming in to clean. You ain't spending 4 hours trying to get them bathrooms right and get them baseboards and do all that. No, that's their hustle. How much is it? Come check my place out. How much is it? Oh, 200. Little tip, 250. All right. Yeah. Come the 10th of every month. Put me on the calendar. Get this joint right. I could do the in between. That's easy breezy. Or hell, how much if I sign up for twice a month, does the price come down a little bit? Yeah, it actually does. Yeah, come twice a month. Like what we talking about? And we're gonna do all the things. Thanks for pulling up, family. Good. Stay connected. This is what we do. We don't cut no corners. We don't make no excuses. We challenge excuses. We challenge beliefs that limit us. We focus up and we work hard. That's why it's not a bunch of people in here. Because this for people who really want it. So make sure you stay connected. And if I could be of service outside of this, hit me up. That's what I'm here for. That's why God has me here, to be of service. So anywho, yeah, sis, it's your season. And now that you reframe that, start thinking about, you know what? Yeah. Don't think about how you gonna save more. Don't think about how you're gonna tear Neiman Marcus up. Think about, you know what? Yeah. That extra X amount that's coming in, a few of that, I'm gonna free up some hours because I'm gonna get the Mary Maids to come in, and then we gonna order, I don't know, we gonna find a local meal prep person that's a beast in that kitchen, and we gonna pay them. Like what we gonna go out. Hell, going out and groceries is about the same now anyway. We're going out, which is gonna create time and energy invested. You're gonna have some dates built in. The money is about the same. Go be served. Anyway, I could do this all day, but I need a dash. Anyway, this was fun. I appreciate y'all. Stay sharp, stay connected, and yeah, show up for yourself. That's what it's about. Stop believing the lies that you've been told about you, and stop believing the lies you've been telling you about you. Start believing in the truth. And the truth is you're unstoppable. Literally, you're unstoppable. There's absolutely nothing or no one that can stop you. Only you. Obstacles don't stop you. Your your idea, the idea of the obstacle, you thinking about the adversity stops you from moving forward. And change how you're looking at the adversity. My sister just said I was looking at work as a hindrance. No, work is the thing that's going to free you up to do the work is going to be the thing that, especially with you, because opportunities are on the way for you, right? That are going to be able to, right? You're going to be able to pay someone to just create the cartoon for you. Here's the idea. Here's the storyline. Create that for me. Get it right on back. And they're going to go boop, 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 because that's what they do. And bam, you're going to have it in your hands. Work is, come on, man. I love y'all. Stay sharp. I got to go because y'all going to have me. I do this all day.